So Jimmy Johnson will give up 4th place and go all the way back to 19th for the restart. Now watch the camera again on the race off pit road. Watch Rusty Wallace pushing Ryan Newman here.
You know, they could be. I'm trying to look in the back of the 12 car, but it just depends on how they have the bumpers or the bars in the back of the 12 car. If they're pointed.
Reason being, Pete, the folks haven't seen this yet. Wally, we saw this during commercial.
Right.
Damage on the nose of Rusty Wallace's car. We were wondering if he did it there.
And if they're pointed and there's some bars back there that maybe he leaned on, put that hole in it.
Now, what kind of effect is that hole where the left front headlight goes going to be?
That's going to have some effect. It's going to probably make the car push. Bill?
They got that. I'm in their pit now. They say they got that from the 97 car on the way out of pit road.
Okay.
They just run into him?
I believe they came together. Whom ran into whom, or whatever the correct grammar is. Somebody hit the other guy.
Gotcha. So they were racing for 2nd place coming off pit road. And back to what you said at the top of the broadcast, BP. 2nd time today we've seen contact on pit road put a wrinkle in somebody's chances.
Don't see any damage on that 97 car, but anyway, that's probably going to make Rusty's car push a little bit, I would think.
It's certainly not going to help the situation, I'll tell you that. And it's also cracked. Not only do we have a hole there underneath the headlight, it's cracked all the way across there.
That air is going to be getting inside of there, maybe creating some lift, as well as that hole. You've taken away, you know, piece of the nose that's going to create downforce. So it's you're going to have less downforce on the front of that car.
Here we go to the green flag. Newman, Wallace, Busch, Jarrett, Martin. Your top 5. And again, Jimmy Johnson back in 19th place for this restart.
Rusty's going to try it out right away. See?
Yeah, he wants that lead.
Whoa, 3 wide behind him.
That's going to be interesting.
Mark Martin went around the outside of both Michael Waltrip and Casey Mears. And for 2nd place, Kurt Busch, 97. Going to take the spot from Rusty.
I never see Mark Martin going by that time by. He was in the 5th position, that 6th car. And just before that last caution flag, he was coming on strong, Martin was.
Won the race here at Dover in June. Led only the final 19 laps. He hasn't led yet today. But knowing what I just said a second ago, Martin fans should not worry. There's plenty of time. In fact, we're not even halfway.
It's a shame that Casey Mears had those tire problems, because that 41 car is really fast.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
it looks like Rusty is sliding back a little bit, so I'd be real anxious to see. And there's the 48 way back there.
Where? I haven't seen him yet.
I think he's right
there. He is.
There.
Right behind Carl Edwards at 99.
That would be what you call lost track position. Marty?
And a lot of ground to make up for Jimmy Johnson. Currently, he's made up 1 spot. He's in 18th, but he's got a long way to go to get to the front. Chad Canal smartly, though, when they came down pit road to serve the penalty, did take out the spring rubber from the left rear that he wanted to. That should loosen the car up. Also, 2 rounds up on the left rear wedge bolt. That should loosen it up as well. And 1 round in the right rear. A lot of adjustments when they did serve the penalty. A smart move on Chad Canal's part.
97 car Kurt Busch is putting some pressure on that 12 car Newman. He's all over the back of that car.
And let me just clarify one thing. The penalty for Jimmy Johnson would have just been to go to the tail end of the longest line. He did not have to come down pit road to do that. They chose to take advantage of the fact that they were going to give up all the track position anyway to make those adjustments Marty just talked about.
And once again, as Marty just said, Chad Knaus, a winning crew chief for those reasons.
Watch this. Trying to get Newman loose.
Kurt Busch has not yet led today. Trying to collect 5 bonus points toward the championship. You get those if you lead a lap, any lap, during the course of a race.
And we see a lot of drivers that get in the situation that Ryan Newman is in the 12 car. The 97 comes up, starts pressuring him. He just moves over and lets him go by. Ryan Newman is not that type of driver. He races every lap. These guys are. Now, he had nothing he could do there except just move over and let the 97 go by. But he really does race hard.
So new leader Kurt Busch out in front. Driver who's never had a lot of success here at Dover. Kurt has talked about this pretty freely this weekend. They've always run well in the first part of races here, but had trouble finishing it off. Well, he's running well in the first part of the race today. They still got half the race to try and finish it off.
Jimmy Finning, the crew chief on the 97, kept insisting at Richmond. He kept telling us we're going to run wide open in Richmond. We're going to run wide open the next 10 races, and looks like he's true to his word.
Dave Burns.
Alan, I want to go back to what I was talking about before they pitted or during their pit stop. The myriad of information, the amount of information that Kurt gave crew chief Jimmy Finning, and the way they talked through it. Kurt's car was doing one thing in traffic, doing another thing by itself, and he's gotten the car adjusted now with the help of his crew, where it can run for the lead. What
a difference 2004 versus 2003 for Kurt Busch. You remember all the turmoil and trouble that the young man went through in this part of last season after the August run-in with Jimmy Spencer and the fan fallout that came from behind it. I see in Kurt Busch, just purely my opinion, but I see a young man really maturing as a big league racing driver, not riding the emotional roller coaster so much with the goods and the bads, really leveling it all out, like, for example, Mark Martin, who's done that so well over the years.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kurt, I mean, like him or not like him, I know he gets a hard time from the fans, but tell you what, the guy wheels a race car. He drives hard, and tell you, he's going to be a threat to this championship.
As they say in the garage area, he is a wheel man.
So Kurt Busch now the fourth different driver to lead the MBNA America 400 at Dover International Speedway as we close into the midway point of this race. The 26-year-old from Las Vegas, Nevada, seeking his 12th career win and his 4th of 2004. Kurt Busch on the prowl at the Monster Mile. As we come up on halfway, Kurt Busch trying to hold off Ryan Newman.
Oh, he slid up the racetrack and he tried to get back down. The car got a little bit loose, but Kurt Busch held on.
Tell you what, that 12 car, Ryan Newman, goes to the middle of the corner right there.
And it's over
so
now.
Well.
So after Kurt led 12 laps, make that 11 laps, Ryan Newman's going to go back out in front and reclaim the top spot. Newman, the dominant driver on the day so far. This is back for 9th and 10th places. Greg Biffle and Jeremy Mayfield. Mayfield in the 19 going to move forward.
Jeremy Mayfield in the 19 was won the pole position here on qualifying Friday afternoon.
Mayfield losing 102 points after the lap 65 wreck at New Hampshire a Sunday ago that forced him to finish 35th in that race. BP talking about him starting on pole here in the June race. He finished 8th, starting from pole. And looking to equal his career best Dover finish, which was a 2nd place run in this race 1 year ago. Now Elliott Sadler and Jamie McMurray closing in. Meanwhile, we check our Little Debbie lap leaders. Ryan Newman back out in front. And he has been the man so far today. Matt Kenseth back out on track after that crash at lap 119 where he ran into the pit barrier. Trying to get onto pit road under the green flag. But besides Kenseth, it's been all Ryan Newman. Only other leader today, Ken Schrader, for 1 lap.
Well, that lap there, Ryan Newman, once he got in clean air, he was a lot faster than anybody else. So once he got past Kurt Busch, 0.3 of a second faster.
Matt Kenseth back on track. There are the numbers on Matt. 53 laps down in 33rd place. Shuffling him down to 7th in the championship. Jeff Burton's out, so in another 20 laps, Matt will overtake Jeff Burton. That's 3 more points toward the championship. And then we'll see what happens in the second half of the race.
These guys did a good job on that car. I mean, that thing was a mess.
That's 11th place changing hands. Elliott Sadler slipping back in the 38. And McMurray in the 42 picking up a spot.